Now we proceed with the next case. In this case, we will link the LensX to the Varian image-guided system. The LensX has 3 monitors. The one on the left is the user interface, where we enter patient data and we can adjust parameters like laser energy or spot separation. This screen belongs to the Varian image-guided system. It has an actual image of the eye that will be operated on. It is taken during the pre-op examination, and the system waits now for the registration and the recognition of the eye. This is the surgical monitor, where we can do adjustments in the position and size of the incision, the capsulorhexis, the lens chopping, and the astigmatic cuts. First of all, we need to capture a pre-docking image of the eye without the soft-fit interface. We lower the patient interface till we get an image on the eye where the limbus will coincide with the dotted circle. We approach the eye to a distance of 2 to 3 centimeters from the corneal surface. Then we press the joystick button to start the process of the recognition. As soon as it recognizes, we have to confirm it. Now the system is ready for the next step. We will repeat the same procedure after mounting the soft-fit interface. This patented soft-fit interface has a hydrogel contact lens in it, which reduces corneal compression. You see that the indicator light around the vacuum port has turned into green. That means that the digital ID of the soft-fit interface was recognized. Now we start the docking procedure. We lower the interface till the suction cone contacts the eye. We turn the suction on, and we have to press again the joystick button for the second confirmation and recognition of the eye. We confirm it, and now the registration is successful. Now you see all the surgical parameters on the display, which we have entered during the planning with the Varian system. We have to confirm each one by double-clicking on the green control points. We can move also the position if needed. I just moved a little bit the centration of the capsule, of the capsulorhexis. Now we see a circle OCT scan image of the lens. It looks like a very nice flat docking. The purple lines adjust automatically to the capsule shape and height. We can adjust them with the green control point. Then we adjust the position of the lens patterns to match the surfaces and the volume of the lens. And finally, we check the incisions. Now the laser is ready to fire. We press the pedal and it starts with the capsulorhexis. You see the bubbles that are liberated in the anterior chamber. The next step is the lens chopping. We have 4 cuts and a central circular cylindrical pattern. And now we see the creation of the incisions. First the main incision and then the secondary, and we are done. Suction off, please. We remove the suction cone, and we will remove the speculum. And now we will move the patient to the OR to continue with the next phase of the operation.
In this case, I will try to implant an acrosoptoric IQ IOL. There is no need for corneal marks for the axis because we will use the Varian image guided system. We have to register the eye first. Okay. I start opening the secondary incision with a slate femtosecond spatula. It's a very nice instrument which I use also for the LASIK flap cases. I will inject the viscoelastic. In this case I'm using Discovisc. I will try to obtain a little bit more dilation. You may see a very nice round, well-centered, complete capsulorhexis, which is already free-floating. Now I open the primary incision, which was created by the femtosecond laser. I will inject a little bit more viscoelastic. If you succeed to have a nice flat docked eye, usually almost all cases come out with a complete capsulorhexis. I think that you agree with me that no human hand can have such a precision. The removal of the capsule is not necessary. You can aspirate it with a phaco handpiece if you like. The capsulorhexis size was set to 5 millimeters just to cover the optic. I removed the capsular remnants. I will proceed very conservatively with hydrodissection because of the gas bubbles that you may see behind the nucleus. If you inflate too much the capsule, you may have a large tear with unpleasant consequences. I try to bring forward the bubbles by pressing and tilting the lens, and you may see some of them escaping out of the incision. Now we'll try to rotate the nucleus. Okay. I'm using the Alcon Centurion phaco machine with 30-degree balance tip. I will use only torsional phaco in this 3+ nucleus. The Centurion employs the active fluidic system that leads to a very stable anterior chamber throughout the procedure. It does not depend on gravity. There is no BSS bottle, but a bag which is inserted into the machine. I start with coring out the central cylinder. Thus I will want to create space to split the nucleus and separate the quadrants. There is no need to groove, as you may see. Now I will insert the chopper. It's very easy to split the nucleus apart. As you see, the femtolaser has done a very nice chopping job instead of me. I separated the last quadrant, and now I will engage the quadrant and pull it to the central zone. The balance tip is very efficient in removing nuclear material. In this case it's a piece of cake, I would say. Generally, I like to work in the central area away from the capsule. Now that we have removed the last nuclear fragment, we can switch to IA. In femto cases, sometimes we have to struggle in removing the cortical material because of insufficient or incomplete hydrodissection during the learning curve. You may call it the bubble terror phenomenon. As you gain more experience, it fades out, of course. This is the angled disposable polymer IA tip from Alcon. It's very safe. Even if you aspirate the capsule, it's almost impossible to cause a break. In this case, I think the hydrodissection was complete, so we don't have any problem with the cortex. I remove the last remnants under the incision. Polish. I will polish the posterior capsule. I usually polish only the posterior capsule and not the anterior. I have the impression that cleaning the anterior capsule has not any effect on PCO. We are almost done with polishing. I will inflate the bag with viscoelastic. The lens that I will implant is the Acrisoft IQ Toric IOL. As you all know, it's a hydrophobic acrylic lens. It offers spherical powers from 6 up to 34 diopters with 7 cylinder powers that can correct from 0.75 with the T3 up to 4 diopters with T9. This is the lens. I will insert it into the D cartridge. I will use the AutoCert device to implant the lens. It's an automated feature of the Centurion. This is the AutoCert device. It provides a smooth controlled IOL delivery using the foot pedal of the Centurion. One of your hands is always free, where you can enhance the stabilization of the eye if needed. I think we don't need it in this case. I press now the foot pedal to advance the IOL. I like to control it with my foot only, without a pause during the advancement phases. Now the IOL is in the eye. I will rotate it and place the haptics in the bag. Now we need the overlay, the image of the Varion. The intended axis is 100 degrees, and at this moment, fortunately, the lens lies approximately 20 degrees less. So I will need to rotate a little bit only. I will remove the viscoelastic. I go under the IOL to remove it totally. It's important in toric lenses and also in multifocal lenses to remove completely the viscoelastic under the IOL. As I aspirate the viscoelastic, I try also very gently to rotate the lens towards the intended axis of astigmatism, which is 100 degrees. The Varian image-guided system is very helpful in achieving the highest possible accuracy in toric IOL placement. You don't need to mark the cornea before surgery. Also, a very important issue, it takes cyclorotation into account and shows you always the intended axis of astigmatism, which was calculated during the preoperative exam. I will inflate a little bit more the eye with PSS. Now I will hydrate the incision. It looks pretty much on axis. I will check the wounds to see if there is any leakage. It looks fine. Okay. Thank you very much. We will proceed immediately with the next case.